TV production stopped, but video games, everybody was at home.
Yes. But like some games, they do have like a film production, right? They need actors and motion capture.
Totally.
People.
The video game industry, I believe, makes more money than any other form of entertainment.
Yes, they do now. Like it's in the trillions.
Yeah. Oh yeah, no question. You can tell. If you ever look at the credits at the end of a video game, I mean, it's probably longer than a movie.
Yes. Like there's animation, like it's not only filming, right? Like there's so much more.
Oh yeah.
But my favorite kind of games are indie games.
Oh, indie games?
Yes. Mm-hmm. Like the term originally comes from independent, right? However, it has developed to become a style. Right. They are usually 2D games, like platformer games. That can be 3D actually, just be a platformer. And they have a strong character and beautiful soundtrack and a story. And my favorite kind of indie games are the Metroidvania games. Have you heard of them? They don't come as what's a Metroidvania? Metroidvania is a term that comes from two very classic games, Metroid and Castlevania. Wait, I'm taking notes. And the mechanics, or like the gameplay, I would say, is based on not being able to do something at a certain point until you get a certain power. So like you're exploring the map, and then you find a spot in which you have to double jump, but you don't have the double jump yet because you haven't faced a certain boss. It gives you that ability. So you have to keep exploring the map, other places. You cannot go forward. You have to go back and explore somewhere else until you find that power, and then come back to that place, and then you find a different part of the map. Yeah? So it's a very specific kind of game, which is quite explored in the game industry today. Did you understand how it works? Did you?
What's that?
Did you understand how it works?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Sure. I never trust a show like that. Yeah, the games I mentioned.
Oh, I see. We're on YouTube?
Sorry?
Are we currently on YouTube?
Yes, we are.
Wow.
Okay.
And how many people are currently listening to this fascinating discussion of the history of video games?
No one.
Nobody.
0 people. It's
unfortunate. I mean, this is
Yes. Like actually this is one of the things I want to change, because like nowadays the Gothic Club is a very open experience. I want more people to join us here so we can talk about that.
Yeah.
In the sense of it has no limit, it has no time to end, it has no episodes,
Which one?
And I'm starting to think about it as like seasons of a TV show, And a season has episodes and characters and a story. So instead of like just join us every Saturday forever, we're gonna do like a 6-month experience with 24 Saturdays.
That's a good idea.
And like 24 episodes, like 12 of them will be focused on content, on language, grammar, phonetics, habits for improving language and so on. And the 12 other meetings will be actually not promoted, but will be hosted by the Gothic Clubbers, who will be 12, and we'll bring guests like you. And then we can record those videos and actually announce them and make an event out of them.
Yeah.
And then mainly the 12 other ones with guests can become episodes of a podcast, of a series of videos. And then we rinse and repeat. It makes more sense. And it's an encapsulated experience that show them the when it ends, because when we don't see a deadline, we don't see a time when something ends, we don't commit as much, I would say. What do you think, Lo?
I mean, if you have episodes that you're posting after the fact, it'd be good to have some editing. You sort of edit them down a bit to get to the meat of it.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of editing of anything.
Are you a fan of editing?
Yes, no matter what it is.
Video or audio?
Audio, video, writing, music. It's like sculpture, right?
It is.
That's the cliche. The masterpiece is in the rock. You just have to keep chipping away at the stone to get to it. And the refinement process, I think, is important.
Yes, it is. And like there is this phrase, I believe, by Saint-Exupéry, the author of The Little Prince.
Uh-huh.
He says that perfection is achieved not when there's nothing else to add, but when there's nothing else to take away from. Take away. So like editing a video is getting like a rough piece of rock and then removing things.
Yeah.
Until it's perfect.
Right. Yeah. I mean, and then of course you never really reach a point where it's absolutely perfect. You kind of have to let go of it after a certain point. But I think it's important to know that not everything we put out there content-wise is all of that interesting or compelling until it's refined and edited down into something else.
Yeah, also I believe in long content. I've been consuming some whiteboard sessions from a designer that I really look up to. And the thing that makes long content interesting is making it relevant and interesting and planning beforehand, right? So for example, in these 12 content sessions, I want to actually prepare a whole lesson, whole class, and it can be 3 hours long, as long as each and every minute provides value.
It can. I mean, 3 hours is a long time to sit on Zoom, but
yeah, it can be. But also, like I like this phrase of nothing, like a video is not boring; it's just irrelevant. Hello.
Hi.
What do you think of that idea of encapsulating the experience?
I can't understand how it be.
How it work?
Yes.
I'll explain details later when more people come. So, look, you don't even like watching films. Do you ever play games?
No, I watch movies, but I don't play games.
Have you ever tried as a kid, like once?
No, when I was a child, I like it.
I see. Do you think games are for children?
I think now only like a Candy Crush.
Oh, you play Candy Crush? You do? Nice.
Sometimes.
This new category of games, they are infinite, right? Like I don't like infinite games. I like to finish them.
Oh,
is that what you're calling them, Gus? Infinite?
Infinite.
No, it's a game called Candy Crush.
No, I'm familiar with that, but you called them infinite, like they don't have an ending.
They never end. It's an endless game.
Right. They're sort of designed that way.
Pardon me?
They're designed that way.
Yes.
Right. That's the
forever.
nature of the game. There's no
you get level 3000 and you never beat it.
I don't play any games on my phone except for one, chess with friends. That's the only game I play on my phone because I find it difficult to really stare at the phone. And that's probably why I never became much of a big gamer because I like the video games, but I can't sit and watch them for long periods of time. I can't sit there and my eyes start to get dry. I don't like being
You
immersed.
can't physically do it.
No, no. I mean, half an hour, 40 minutes, it's fine. But after that, and I also feel like I'm just sitting down too much. Like I need to get up and do something.
Is that the age coming?
Well, I think I've always been like that, and I would be cautious, no matter how young you are, of how much time you spend sitting down. It's dangerous. It doesn't matter how old you are. You ain't that young, Gus.
Yeah. I feel that too. Like, it's weird when we start being moderate. I think we get being an adult is perceiving moderation in you. Like I was when I was 23, I was at a pool with my sister, and my father was there, my uncles, my aunts, my cousins, and my sister, and my cousin were just going down the slide. I've got a slide, right? Endlessly, like over and over again. And we wondered why, like, what happened to those people? Why aren't they doing that with us as well? Why aren't they just sitting down and not in the pool all the time? And then the following time I went there, I felt the feeling of moderation. I felt, oh, that's enough. Like I went down twice. Okay, that's enough. And okay, maybe I'm growing up. So if that's a sign of becoming an adult, like perceiving moderation, because screens, like being overly exposed to screen or too long of a screen time is just as damaging for kids, but they don't
more
have moderation.
More damaging for kids, much more, because they're developing. They're not, our neurological, it's already been mostly set to a certain extent. It's not in the developing stages like children are. Children are, they're going to be formed much more dramatically by their exposure to screens than my generation, because my generation was already, mature physically by the time we were introduced to any of this kind of stuff. But the little children who are 2 and 3 years old and they've got a phone in their hand all the time, we don't know yet what the neurological consequences of that are. And part of that, I think, is it may not be as bad as some people think. Like, I think some people really take it to, and think that this is going to have some kind of horrible effect. And it may or it may not, and then that's probably different depending on each individual. But yeah. I've just never been a proponent of, and the pandemic didn't make things any easier, but I've not been a proponent of let's live all our lives on digital platforms.
Proponent. Interesting. Proponent is someone who proposes, or someone who defends?
Proponent. Someone who it probably could come from the root proposes, but it sounds like the opposite of an opponent.
Oh, wow, interesting.
Yeah.
I've never heard the opposite of opponent.
Right. I've never been a supporter. I've never, OPP, opponent. Yeah.
Okay. And proponent too? Proponent just one P?
That looks right. Yeah. PROPONENT. Yeah. I've never been a proponent. I've never been a supporter. It would be similar.
Also, something I wanted to comment on is that that we are hardwired to engage with stories, right? Like at some point in our lives, we got selected by nature for our ability to remember and tell stories. It makes sense for the perpetuation of culture and sense of community and an accumulation of knowledge and language, right?
Definitely.
And also being prepared for life, like myths. Like if you tell a myth and this myth keeps you from going into a cave or facing a certain animal, you don't die. So this ability to remember a story that protects you from something is perpetuated throughout history. And this is the reason why the gaming industry is so profitable, and also the cinema industry, right? Because it's stories.
How we learn through stories. That's why the Bible is so instructive, and that's why mythology is so instructive. And just like you said, it teaches culture. There's, it gives you a story to attach to a rule or a law. Like you say, don't go into the dark cave, or the snake. I mean, the snake is an obvious, snakes are dangerous. So it made sense. Make the snake, the embodiment of evil, and, we'll fear it.
Wow.
You're familiar with TED Talks.
Yes.
The success of TED Talks can be partially attributed to the fact that one of the things that they seem to focus on and recommend is that if you're going to give a TED Talk, you want to illustrate through stories. So you notice that in a lot of TED Talks, they either start with, or there seems to be a story, because the story connects everything. It makes it a real world example, as opposed to just lecturing somebody about the dangers of genetically modified foods. You start out with a story about how, this scientist woke up and she discovered that her children's faces were all blotchy. And then she looked into it and found out that they were suffering from a food allergy. And then that, of course, connects the audience and the viewer to the message of the lecture, the message of the TED Talk. Stories, are elemental.
Yes. And making things concrete I believe, is essential for understanding and explanation, and people connect with that very deeply. It's one of the elements of virality, not virology. Like when something goes viral, I took a course on why things go viral, and one of the elements is being concrete. Something you can easily remember, easily explain through an icon or through a series of icons. And I've been testing that theory on one of my Instagram profiles. I've been teaching concepts, and whenever I write them, they're usually abstract. And then I try to turn them into a symbol, and then I draw them, and then people share them. They share more than they would probably if I didn't do that. And they get quite iconic. I can show them to you later. Actually, one of them was shared 2,400 times. So it's really connect to iconicity, Camis, can you hear us now?
Yeah.
Connection is back.
I'm using my phone now.
Oh no. No success changing your provider?
It doesn't have another, just living.
Oh no. So you are a hostage.
For bad.
See that? Like they are hostage to something, to a company? Jeff?
Excuse me?
Can you say that you are hostage to a company or to a situation?
Am I a hostage to a situation?
Can one say that?
Yeah. Oh, I'm a hostage. Yeah, in a kind of informal way. I'm a hostage to a situation, or I'm a hostage to a particular, like I don't like working at this place. I'm a hostage to this job.
Because Camis is having trouble with the internet provider, but it's the only one available in her area. So she's a hostage to them, right?
Yes, that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
That makes sense. Yeah. I'm sorry to hear that, Miss Camis.
Yeah.
Miss Camis, nice.
Yeah. I'm sorry. You probably don't hear that from too many English speakers unless they live in the South of the United States.
What, Miss?
Miss in front of everybody's first name, a woman's first name.
Mm.
Because I wouldn't say in the South, you could say Miss Camis, but I wouldn't say Mr. Gus.
You wouldn't?
No.
Oh. Yeah, but also you don't use the first name after that, right?
What do you mean?
Or do you? Like you use the first name
Yeah.
after those
In the
pronouns?
South for a woman's name?
Yes.
Yeah, that would be kind of an old school thing. Like, oh, Miss Camus has come to see us again. Oh, it's so good to see you. You know,
Okay,
it just
nice.
seems like the way these, a lot of old, like the older Southern people kind of talk. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Do they wear pearls a lot?
Pearls.
Yeah.
I
I've
suppose, I suppose some do. Why do
because
you,
like
is that a
you
stereotype or something?
yeah, there's some TV shows I've seen like people doing sun on ladies and they hold their imaginary pearls.
Oh yeah. Well, have you ever heard that expression, pearl clutching or clutching your pearls?
Nice. I think I have, but I never registered it.
Uh,
Clutching
I think I'm correct about this, but it's synonymous with another good word, indignation.
indignation.
Yeah, where's my chat here? What happened? I'm trying to, if I can, oh, put on the, here we go. Yeah, indignation. I think I'm right about this. No. Yeah, yeah. Oh, there we go. Oh, I'm ready.
That's a G, sorry.
I'm looking. I thought you were sharing the screen. I'm like, oh, you're typing the same thing I am, and I'm typing it on the chat.
Yeah.
Indignation. I'm curious if I'm right about that, though. If pearl clutching is, it's like a term in popular culture.
You can Google it. Maybe you share
Yeah,
the
the
screen.
phrase pearl clutching, which means being shocked by something once salacious that should now be seen as commonplace, like sex, is ubiquitous on blog posts, especially in media geared towards women. Pearl clutching. Outrage, dramatic protest, right? Yeah, indignation. It's like, oh, how dare they?
I see. So you hold your pearls while you express your indignation.
The image comes from sort of like a dour old lady acting shocked at something seemingly not that shocking. Like, ooh, clutching her pearls like she can't bear to see it. This would be good for Granny's English. This is Granny's English.
It would. We have to record that one that we have been.
Pearl clutching is Granny. Only Granny would pearl clutch.
Yeah.
Right.
Hello.
Hi.
So you're a writer, you're a journalist, and what do you feel that storytelling permeates your profession, or is this a parallel art?
It's very important today, storytelling. To
use it?
To do people pay attention in the content.
Do you use it?
Yes, sometimes. Not every day, but I use it.
Can you give us an example? You usually tell real stories, right?
Yes. It's a kind of different because when it's only a normal story, you don't think about the sequence and the sequence, yes. And the most time I use storytelling, I need to do other people do something for me, like on button in the or buy something or follow in social media or something like this. And the the storytelling, it's very important to get the, I don't know the word, engagement,
Engagement.
correct?
Yes.
Wow.
Paul,
Well,
everything okay? So
I'm okay.
no, Paula is just like she did a noise.
I'm curious what you write about, what kind of journalism you do.
For
Polita.
a business, I'm working in a company
Uh-huh.
in industry, and I write for internal communication and external about this company.
I see.
So I write internal news or press release, for example,
I see.
to media.
Gotcha. A particular industry, or it could be any industry?
No, particularly, I'm working Alcoa, do you know?
Oh, it's aluminum, I think, right?
Yes.
Right? Metals, aluminum.
Yes. Here in San Luis, only alumina.
Aluminum, yeah.
So can you tell us an example of a story you told recently?
For example, I don't remember now, but it's difficult to remember because it's I don't know when you tell one story, simple story. The most I think it's when the people understand the beginning, the end of the story, and when you work with storytelling, the most important is the engagement. This is the difference for me. So you need to think about what you want the people do before read your text.
Before.
What you write before,
Oh,
after. Sorry, after. Sorry. Yes.
Yeah.
What you want to the people do after read your story, like when you post something in social media. Sometimes I want the people understand and feel about the value of company, about the voluntary. Sorry.
Yes.
I didn't hear. Yes.
Voluntary or voluntary? Yes.
Yes, voluntary. Yes, because it's very important for Alcoa. Care of people, and care of people. It's about your employee, and the community. So this, yes. Next to all the city, for example. So
you mean like the surrounding community?
Oh,
right?
Yes. So when I write about voluntary, I need the people feel it's an important story. Feel it's a value for the company. It's not only a simple story. I read and the next I need the people feel. So the perfect word I need to choose for this kind of story when I write it.
I see. And I believe there's a general story that Alcoa needs to tell, that they are exploring nature, but still taking care of it and the people mainly around the mine, right? And the place where they extract aluminum from. So they have to keep an image of sustainability, I would say.
Exactly.
Is it legitimate?
Because it's a kind of, Sorry?
Is it legitimate? I mean, are they genuinely conscientious about conserving the environment or working with the environment?
Yes, because it's a kind of industry that can be, how can I explain? Can be destroy the environment. So some people think about this kind of industry destroy the environment. So it's very important to talk the opposite. For the we talk about the social license to operate, because we need the people understand. We didn't kind of industry who don't think about environment and people and community.
I see.
It's the way we use social license to operate.
Social
about
license.
sustainability.
Okay.
Sorry?
Paula, how are you doing? Social license, right? Social license to operate.
Socialite.
License.
License. Social license. Yes. To operate.
Operate. Paula, as a content creator, do you consciously use storytelling in your content?
Hello guys, good afternoon. Hello, Kami. Hello.
Hi.
This is like a TV show, right? Like, hi Paula, how are you? So I have a question for you already before you even say hi. And then you say hi.
Let me tell a story before before answering that question. Hello, Kami. How are you?
Hello, I'm great.
There is another Gustavo here, or it's you, Gustavo?
It's
the phone. Gustavo
phone. It's
Yeah,
just a phone there.
So I can share with you the notes.
So I just arrived. So the concept of storytelling, it is a story that there is an structure, right?
Structured.
Yes.
Well, I would say I also took a course in storytelling a while ago, and I keep on telling that to chemists, that a story is only a story if it has a conflict. If it doesn't, it's just a report or a list of events. So basically using conflict in your communication, you know? And I believe you do that because you start from the conflict. You start by mentioning problems, you know? Like, what to do about jealousy? I think that was one of the most recent videos you posted. So that's the conflict already. It's the middle of the story. Like, it's not the beginning, the middle. So you do use it. But have you noticed?
You are saying, so I do. But I don't used to tell stories. I used to answer questions. I open some question box to people to ask what they want to know. Then I answer this question. Sometimes I make videos, lives. I used to make posts with phrases and texts.
I'm used to making, okay?
I'm used making. I used the making.
To making.
To making.
I use it to making.
Yes, because you do today. No?
I'm used to making. I'm used to making.
Yeah, I'm used to making.
Okay, thank you.
To making.
I'm used to making. Okay, thank you. To do some posts, and in the legend, I put some texts on it, but I don't think it's about a story or necessarily having a conflict on it, you know.
Do you ever tell like the story of your clients or followers?
Yeah, sometimes I do that. Sometimes I give some examples, you know, to explain what I'm trying to say. Examples of not to do, examples of what to do. But in this recently, I'm doing so much more of this answering questions that they have.
Notice. Quite nice.
And you, Gustavo, you are doing that? Are you doing that?
Yes, I am. Not answering questions often, but using storytelling techniques like, as I was saying before you arrived, making things concrete and, as I like to say, drawable, you know, like iconizable, I would say, like to get an abstract concept and turn it into a concrete element, you know. We can even show you guys. See.
Gustavo, I would like you to explain the expression that I said it wrong before, please.
I will. So, like, for example, this one is about finding one word that represents everything that you do. And I translated it into how to find your kernel, how to find your like kernel as in a fruit, or how to find your core, you know. And then I translated it into what it meant. So it's in Churchill. So that was his word. I don't know if you know the story behind this picture. Do you, Jeff?
I'm familiar with Churchill, but not necessarily this picture, no. And I can't understand the Portuguese well enough.
I'm not actually talking about the picture in that text. I'm just saying that his one word was victory. But in this picture, he's doing this, and this is an offensive gesture in, I believe it was in France. He meant to do this. He was doing this, and that's an offensive gesture because legend says that prisoners in some French war, I don't know the details, sorry. Prisoners in a French war, they would have their two fingers cut, so they wouldn't be able to throw an arrow anymore. You know.
That's the story behind the bird.
Yes, is it the same story?
Same story.
Okay, but here's two fingers, not one. Okay, but no, that's a myth.
But the longbowmen, the British longbowmen, they had the strong middle finger, and that's why the French would cut that middle finger off. So when the surviving longbowmen, they would taunt the French by saying, "See, still got my middle finger."
Yeah, it's the same idea, like to show that you still can attack.
I never heard that for the V sign.
Yeah. So I teach them how to find this kernel, how to find their one word in a long format content, and I asked them what it is. But it was represented by one icon, which is this avocado.
It's a good idea.
Also,
the design is great, Gustavo.
Thank you. This one is about lifting a calf. You know, this is called a calf, like a baby cow, a baby ox. And then I tell the story of Milo, which was a Greek guy who wanted to be the strongest man in Greece, and then he found a calf and started to lift it every day until it became a bull. You know, and then when he realized he was lifting a bull every day. And our problem, then I say, is that we try to lift the ball on the first day, you know, instead of finding like an easy thing to do every day, and that can be much more productive than trying to do a hard thing the first day.
That's good. I like that.
And then it becomes iconizable. I make a drawing and I do like almost like a kid's book, storybook.
You told this story before for us here, and when I saw this post, I read the text, and it's really simplified, very easy to understand,
Yeah.
without having someone telling the story. Even without having this person telling the story, it's very easy to understand. Very good job.
Thank you. And then people
When
share
I
it.
see this,
What do you want?
when I see this post, I only think about it's only about get my attention.
Come on, you didn't fall for my trap.
Yes, and I didn't read only because it's just to get my attention.
I refuse to read it.
I don't.
Yeah, but
Yes, I refuse.
I'm not selling anything at the end. It's genuinely just telling a story. But it was a test. I do know now that people actually read these and share them, so it makes sense to use it to sell something. Actually, this one, it went crazy. I don't know if you saw that. It's like
9 expression. It looks like Maranhenses.
2,000 shares. Sorry.
It doesn't have anything to do with Maranhão, right?
Yes.
Oh, it does.
So, what I decided to do, Jeff, was to translate some Maranhense expressions into English.
Maranhão expressions in English.
Yes.
I get it.
Maranhense means from Maranhão.
Right.
And then the definitions and translations are awful, but they are funny because they are awful.
San Luis is an egg.
Can you read this?
Yeah. An oval.
It is funny because all cities use this expression, but you think it's some ways.
Why is it an egg?
Like we said that when we can you read the definition?
Who's Ludovicensis?
People from San
Luis. People from San Luis. Ludovicensis.
Say when they see each other everywhere. San Luis is an egg?
Yes.
Is it fragile?
No, it's small.
Round? Oh.
Small. Like
Small.
We bump into each other all the time because it's too small of a city,
Am I remembering it correctly, or isn't San Luis an island of itself? It's on an island, right?
Yes.
Island.
San Luis is very big, but we used to say this when we see someone that we know. We used to say, especially when we see a friend, for example, in a place that you were not imagined. You wouldn't imagine to see that person there. So we see, oh my God, San Luis é ovo. San Luis is an egg.
Yeah, I used to say when I know someone new, and then we have the same friend. Like,
yes.
Everyone knows everyone.
Yeah.
Because
not like that, but we used to say that.
Is that because it's an island?
No, just as Lo said, almost every city uses that. It's not because it's not.
It's not just San Luis.
Yeah. I've heard it. I've heard it here too in Curitiba. Guys, let's learn this.
In Curitiba, in Belo Horizonte, in the most city in Brazil, we use this expression.
No, there's no I'm used to. I'm used to doing this, or I'm used to doing that.
Yes.
Okay, I'm sorry.
So like we say I used to for the past, for things that were habits in the past, right?
And this.
Sorry?
Okay.
Paula, are you well?
Yes, okay, I got it.
So I used to make videos every day. Now I don't. Today I don't. So
Okay.
it's an old habit, okay?
Okay.
Now, if you want to say that you do something every day, you say, I'm used to doing this. So I'm used to using this expression whenever I do this and that, okay?
My God, I didn't know that.
It's like
You
saying,
did. I told you like 2 times already at least.
So in the other
Write it
time, I
down.
didn't pay attention.
Write it down. I have to take a
No,
screenshot.
it's not necessary. Now I paid attention, so I will correct myself. Don't worry. I'm
Screenshot.
used to doing, I'm used to cooking, right? I'm
Yeah.
used to
but
walking.
you're still pronouncing that verb like a Brazilian. The Brazilians always put the hard ed on the end of the verb.
Yeah, I'm used it.
Used to.
Yes.
Or we used to. It was funny when we were. You remember Paula Santos, right? Our interpreter on
Yeah.
right. So by the end of the trip, you know, I was. It was funny. I mean, we would just joke around and stuff, but every verb ended the same way. You know, close it, use it.
What was the word that I said?
What's that?
Use it. Use it. You're saying use it.
Right.
Used. Okay, used. Right.
It's used, yes.
Right. It's
Yeah.
almost like you're making it 2 vowels where it's just about pronounced 1 vowel.
Yeah.
I'm used to it. Like I'm familiar with it. I'm used to this pronunciation. I'm used to speaking this way. I'm familiar, you know,
But let me ask you this, Jeff. Like, because the rule is, okay, let's talk about this since we're here. So there are 3 ways to finish the past or past participle of a regular verb, with a t sound, a d sound, and an id sound, right? And for these, we use a t sound at the, when the original verb ends in a non-voiced sound, like box or fix or wash. What does non-voiced mean? It means that you don't vibrate your vocal folds. So wash, you only use your mouth, you don't vibrate anything. So then boxed, fixed, washed, you know? And use the when you do vibrate your vocal folds, like play. And what else?
I've never heard this expression for, I mean, I've never heard this explanation for these endings.
Yeah, now you can teach your students. Yeah.
When you learn English this way, you learn it more technically the way you're describing it, as opposed to a native speaker.
Yeah, like I wouldn't know how to define phonetical patterns in Portuguese. So just like the where we come from, where we start learning from, right?
Yeah.
So play, love, and tell me another verb, guys.
Run.
Okay, regular verb.
What? Oh, the end.
Sorry. It's hard to remember something when you say, tell me verbs. Verbs, what are verbs? Just they vanish from our mind, right?
Well, like Netflix. I mean, what do you do with Netflix?
What do you mean?
Well, you watch it. So you were looking for a verb.
Okay, so watch comes here, right? Watched. I'm asking for a verb that ends in a voiced sound. Like, I forgot all the open. Okay. So when you finish pronouncing these verbs, Paula, try this. Say play and touch your throat.
Play.
Okay. Does it vibrate all the way to the end?
Play. Play. In the end.
Do you vibrate your vocal folds during the whole word?
Play. No, it's just in the middle.
You do.
No.
Play, e. If you say e, you have to vibrate, you know.
Okay. Play.
But if you say wash now.
Wow.
Wash. Wash.
Oh, not at the end.
Wash. Okay, in the end.
Yeah.
No.
It doesn't vibrate, right? So whenever that happens, when it doesn't vibrate at the end, you say washed, you know, in the past with a t sound. washed, fixed, boxed, watched. And then
Wow.
it doesn't break. You say played, loved, opened. With the d sound. Okay? And the only cases in which you pronounce the id is when the word, the verb, ends in a t or d sound.
Wow.
So want,
Dancing. That's
need. Okay. So wanted, needed. You don't say wanted or wanted. You say wanted and needed. Okay. You actually do pronounce the id in these cases. Okay.
Needed, wanted. Wait,
Sorry.
nothing.
So let me test you guys. How is this word pronounced? Wait, I'm not gonna say it because it's the actual word. Pronoun. How is this one said?
Pronounced.
There you go.
Why?
But Paula, you wanted to say pronounce it. No, that's good though. I mean, it's great that you're able to explain it and then, you know, like Paula or other people can actually recognize that now. I would assume that a lot of language learning is more or less listening, like listening to how the native speakers pronounce things, but not necessarily knowing the explanation behind it like this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Most things we don't know the explanation for, right? Sometimes languages.
I used to learn like that. In my defense, I just would like to say that this phrase I made it more strong, you know, because I was emphasizing, you know, use it too. I was saying it slowly, but when I say quickly, you know, I say it right. I used to, because you put the words together, so it's more even difficult to say use it too. You know, I'm used to, but.
And that's my question here, Jeff, and I want to ask you, because according to this rule, this is the verb to use, and use ends in a, like, you know, in a vocal sound, use, or the z sound. However, I often see this being pronounced used to, as if it were the past of use, which we pronounce them with the t sound.
Oh, could you write it out? Because I'm not. How do you see it?
Okay, because like some verbs, they can turn into nouns or some other kind of word if you change their pronunciation, right? Like
Or they're in.
like house and house. So house with a z sound and house with a s sound, right? House is the verb, while house is a noun, and the same will go for use and use.
Mm-hmm.
So use is a verb to use, and the use of something is a noun, right? But this is a verb, right? This is the verb to use with a z sound. However, we still pronounce it used to.
As opposed to?
Used to.
I mean, there's no surprise if you found an exception. I mean, I don't have the technical background that you do in terms of phonetics. But if you found an exception to the rule, you know enough about English to know that there's tons of those.
Yeah, indeed.
And it may be region, you know, like American English and British English can have, you know, variances. But I don't know in regards to this, though.
In this case. Okay. So guys, this is one of the things I wanted to have a full lesson on, and actually a full course on as well, for you guys to master pronunciation, and in a way that you see a new word and you know how to pronounce it, even though you've never seen it before, you know, just because you know the patterns. For example, if you know that this final E makes this word say its name you immediately know how to pronounce this word. You know this rule?
No.
Like if you have a silent E at the end of a word and only one consonant here, this vowel says its name. So it's the vowel O, so the sound will be O.
Oh gosh, what do you call that? That type.
Magic A, is that?
Sorry?
That's a long vowel as opposed to a short vowel.
Yeah.
It's a song, the Magic A, Magic E.
Magic E, yeah.
Yeah.
Magic E. So like this word, for example.
Yeah, but that's short now. That vowel is short.
It's Al.
L.
Ale? Yeah, it wouldn't be ale, right?
It wouldn't be ale. It'd be L.
How can you make it ale? But to make it ale, I have to do this, right?
Yeah. That's not a word that I'm aware of. It looks like an Irish name, if anything.
Yeah, but that's funny about phonetics, that you can play around with it. How can you write something that was just made up? Like Lale. You can find a way how to say that. And
about making up your own word or using vowels and putting them together to create new words, or
just by understanding the patterns, you can both read new words and know how to pronounce them, and also make up new words to represent a sound. This is very useless skill, though.
Yep. If I just say something, Gus, about your mole here, is mole unless you're in a Mexican restaurant, because then this is mole.
Mole. Okay. We have a word in that in Portuguese, which is soft in Portuguese, mole. So the same goes for ape and ripe, like it says the original name of the vowel. And I want, I don't know if I should do it now. Okay, you will. Guys, I was thinking of some changes and want your guys' opinion on it about the Coffee Club, okay?
Okay.
Ready.
Perfect. So the first, why change? So I was listing some reasons. So the first reason why I would like to do some changes with the Coffee Club is because it's originally an in-person experience, like a face-to-face experience. It started by meeting in person in coffee places every Saturday. But then it was turned into an online experience, but it was not fully done. We just kind of adapted or emulated the coffee table experience online, but it's still not a fully online experience, and I want to make that happen. Which doesn't mean we cannot have infusion, which is part of what we do still. Also, it doesn't have a clear end, like Paula is with us since the very beginning. And I feel, for example, Paula, that you could have learned so much more in this time if you had a time limit, like you have 6 minutes to get to advanced English. 6 minutes, wow, 6 months, and not like whenever you feel like it, So I want to limit to make it a 6-month experience that you can repeat, but that really encapsulates the transformation. And this is the next topic, to encapsulate the transformation. When we have no deadline, we don't tend to prioritize things. Does it make sense?
Yeah.
Like when no time to end, we don't feel we have made any achievements, and we don't apply our efforts to make it happen, to make it, Also, one of the things is I want to make you feel like you achieved something. Like, oh, I got a certificate at the end. So it means that I finished the Coffee Club process. And I want to repeat it because now I have more skills to apply. But I have finished. I have like a milestone in my life, and this is also connected to storytelling. Like a game gets very boring if you don't win anything. If you have no small wins throughout the way, if it's too hard and you cannot face one boss or solve one challenge, you don't feel motivated. If it's too easy and you do everything very easily, you just don't feel motivated either. So I want to give you a milestone, but a challenging one. And increase commitment and results. So if you get better results, you will say better things about the coffee club as well. So it's good for everyone. You're gonna feel very confident in your speaking, and you're gonna say that to other people. And one of the reasons is because I want to be able to help more people. And just by getting individual clients, individual mentoring students, my time runs out very quickly, and I cannot help billions of people, which is my goal. I just told you guys about my kernel and my core, my one word. My one word is freedom, and I want to be free, and I want to provide freedom to people by helping them create online, helping them build businesses online and travel the world if they want to, and also by speaking a language, mainly English, and getting a cup of coffee with anyone, anywhere. And by doing mentoring groups, I can reach more people, and have a higher, like a bigger transformation. Does it make sense?
Yeah.
Yes.
What do you guys think of that? Like, of transforming an open and forever experience into a 6-month experience?
I think when it's forever, perhaps the people can feel bad because they never end. But when you have an end and you can't win the game, perhaps it's bad too.
Oh, I see. When it does have an end, but you don't feel like you transformed?
Yes.
Mm.
Because SMOF, it depends of the skills the people want to get. Because when you have expectation more than the reality, it's very bad. For 6 months, I talk about it.
I see. But it's renewable, and I was thinking of making levels. Like after 6 months, you get your ambassador mug, and now you can be an infusion ambassador, and then you can continue and do more 6 months.
Yes.
And you have more responsibility, so you push yourself even further.
I think perhaps it's important to understand in 6 months it's you can transform something, but not all.
Yes, I do want you guys to be lifelong learners, and this is something I want you to transform you guys in, be curious about language, be sharing your thoughts and your techniques and your new words with each other. I want this community of self-taught people that I'm helping navigate life,
Perhaps it's more easily to people to see the difference in the beginning and the end. In my case, for example, it's very different when I start in Coffee Club and now. But sometimes it's difficult to see this difference. And when you have a start and finish, perhaps it's more easily to see the difference.
And I believe that you would be even better if we had like a more focused and encapsulated experience. Also, by the way, guys, these are my lists of words. I've been learning Italian, learning Spanish, Portuguese. I'm ashamed of my list. I should have more. French, huge. But my biggest list is English. So it's the one I know the most and the one I still learn the most. So I want you guys to be this, to be this ever curious. And I'm constantly amazed of how much I don't know. Like I was watching some Marvel films. I learned like Tinker and Spry and Ledger and words I had never heard of. And they're very useful. And I was like, how did I not know this? And I want you guys to be these hungry learners as well. So I prepared. Yes.
Oh, sorry.
Go.
How exactly? What exactly would change? What it would change? How it would change? How it would be?
We would have like 24 meetings. 12 of them will be focused on content, and 12 of them will be focused on conversation. And you told me, Paula, that you value networking, and I do value networking too. And I want you guys to learn from each other and find opportunities from each other. So the topics will not be brought by me anymore, but by you guys. So in all of those 12 meetings, each of you, the 12 people in every group, will bring a topic. So a piece of content, a question, and we'll start with a talk. Does it make sense?
Yeah.
And then in that way, you would be exposed to, like, you expose your value to other people. And they were like, oh, she's a nice psychologist. I'm going to hire her, And you can, because sometimes, like most times, we have these conversations that maybe don't open space for professional opportunities. We're talking about storytelling and games. And by talking about something in your area, like veterinary or journalism or psychology or literature, we can, wow, this guy knows a lot. I want to learn more literature from him, So let me show you a presentation I built. I'm proud of it. I hope you like it too.
I'm hearing. Just a minute.
Okay. I have to see now.
Yes, I'm seeing.
Just a minute. Also, one thing I was in doubt about was whether the Coffee Club was a company or a product, And I'm going back to understanding it's a product, not like a company in itself. It's a product by Gustavo Braga, And I have other products like my one-on-one mentoring. So it's loading. Wow, so slow. Okay. Camis, your bad internet is coming here too.
They're beautiful.
Okay, it's still loading the background. Okay. So the Coffee Club. 6 months to save from intermediates, getting coffee with international guests. And then there's a waiting list. And there's a time to begin, the enrollment, and a time to begin the meetings. And then the 24 meetings begin. And there's this beginning of a journey. And then we open again to all the groups.
Hey, Gus?
Yes.
I would separate these two lines right here. 6 months to save you from intermediate and then getting coffee with international guests, because the way it reads right now, it sounds like 6 months to save you from intermediate getting coffee with international guests.
I see. So a comma, you'd say, or place?
What are you trying to say though? To save you from intermediate? What does that mean?
Well, if you didn't get, probably wrong. Like people get stuck in intermediate level, you know, and they don't leave if they don't change habits.
Oh, so you mean intermediate language skills?
Yes.
So, but that phrase "to save you from," I'm not so sure is saying what unless I'm misunderstanding. I think what you're trying to say is 6 months to what's the word or phrase? But you're trying to progress people past the intermediate.
Yes. How would you say?
But to save, it's more dramatic.
Yes.
From intermediate, that's fine. But yeah, I agree. Just right, like to save you from something dangerous. 6 months to save you from. Now, I don't know if you want to use this word, but a good word to use here would be languishing. But I don't think it
What?
so good either.
Languishing.
It's a good word.
Yeah.
You know what?
I would change the name of the club, Languishing Club.
No. You want from languishing, but we need 6 months to save you from getting stuck at the intermediate level. But you need a more concise way of saying that.
Getting stuck at it. Very good. Getting stuck at.
Okay. Save you from getting stuck, or for being stuck, or. Don't you think that if I say intermediate level, I'm being more clearer already?
Yeah. Yes, but I would still divide those two phrases so that they're not stacked on top of each other.
Okay, I will.
Or it could be 6 months to save you from intermediate level by getting coffee with international guests.
Yes, good idea.
Very good.
Right, because that's pretty much what the coffee club is doing.
Yeah, perfect. Thank you. I took notes here. So 24 meetings total. 12. Sorry, that's my freedom of creation. 12 group mentoring calls with advanced language topics. 12 coffee table meetings with international guests. And then you're here. Okay, so 12 conversations with international guests, get in touch with different accents and cultures. So these are some of our guests. You can also bring your guests. So each meeting is initiated with a talk by one of the 12 selected coffee clubbers. So we approach a broad range of topics and push you to speak in public and answer questions, being the driver of your learning, something I always say. Does it look good? I think it looks good. Any comments here? Jeff?
I just thought it was funny that you used me playing the banjo with the American flag. The banjo is a very American instrument. I look like a.
Yeah, you look like a redneck. So yeah, so you would initiate these meetings, and we bring guests to be in that conversation with us.
Okay. Interesting.
So 12 group mentoring sessions on advanced topics, including topics suggested by the clubbers. So you guys, like if I notice that you guys have a hard time on a specific topic, I can create a lesson just for that. There's some videos from the notes. And these are some ideas, like how to six-fold your vocabulary in 6 months, how to use etymology to understand words more deeply and recognize new terms by the way they are written, how to think faster in English and manage your time when speaking, how to tell a compelling story and drop people's attention, how to read like a pro and summarize an idea, advanced phonetics to pronounce any word in the English language, even if they are new to you. So these are some topics.
Good.
This is just an idea of time. Meeting is at 9 a.m. on Saturdays. maybe being a bit earlier. But
All of Brazil is not in the same time zone, though, right? Right? Aren't there multiple time zones in Brazil?
They are, yes. So maybe I would say Brasilia's time, not Brazilian time, like the capital.
Mhm.
So each
You would
group,
have just this group of the 9 a.m.
each group will have their own time, you know. So I can open another group that's going to be at 2 p.m. or another group is going to be at 6 p.m. But you have your own time, only one. So everyone is together all the time. Does it make sense?
No. I didn't understand. Nowadays, you have 3 groups happening in the Saturday,
No,
right?
I don't have 3 groups. This is the problem. I have 3 times for one group. And this is not very efficient, you know, like you pick a time and sometimes no time. So by having one time, like this group of 12 people meets every Saturday at this time, and this is your time, you know?
Okay, for me, it used to be at 9. Today is
Yes. Yeah, like I want to go back to having one time to be together, you know? No question about it. When you have too many options, it's hard to choose. And then, like, this is just an example. Each group will have their own times. So this will be the first one. So about mentoring, get 6 on-demand individual mentoring sessions, but feel free to call or message me at any time for questions and support. So Laurie, for instance, you do mentoring with me. I believe there will be a separate product, you know, like Gustavo Braga's mentoring program. And in the coffee club, I would include 6 mentoring sessions that you can, hey, Gustavo, I missed the meeting. Can you explain that to me? Or I really have a hard time on this. Can we get together and can you explain that to me? Or something else. Okay. As I said, I want to potentialize my time so I can help more people. So I can have a broader range, like a broader impact. And if I just get thousands of mentoring students, my time runs out. Paula?
Gustavo. What about the tasks?
Tests?
Yes, tasks.
Oh, the challenges. Yes, this is something that I can create with each of you guys. You know?
Do you know I have problems with this? I have problem with solving the challenge and doing that. So I always say to you that it's good to be as small as it can be, you know.
Yeah, this is a problem. I don't want it to be easy, you know.
No, I'm not talking about the quality of to be easy or not, but to be simple, you know, simple.
Yeah, and
I'm just asking how it will work. I'm just asking.
One of the reasons why I want to encapsulate the experience is because if you guys spend more time in doing a challenge, you know you're getting somewhere, you know. If I just ask you every week forever to do something that takes 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours to do, you lose motivation. But if you have, okay, I have 24 weeks to do this, I will spend 1 to 2 hours to get to my advanced level at the end, you know. So if I just, every time you guys don't do something and make it easier, I'm not gonna get you out of the intermediate, because getting out of the intermediate is by changing habits, is by pushing yourself. And if you don't push yourself, you don't grow. And I don't deliver on my promise, you know?
Yes, but as I said, it's not about to be easy. It's about to be simple, not to take, you know, a lot of hours to do it, you know, in one day, for example. But if you have any specific strategy, I would like to know this is. what I'm asking.
Yeah.
You know, it will be, we will have to create stories. We will have to, what we will have to do, you know, the focus that is in the vocabulary, you know, we will use some specific game or something like that, you know. Did you think about that?
Not deeply, but you can send me your ideas. Like, actually, you were the one who influenced me to implement those challenges. You know, say, oh, propose a challenge that in which we use the words from the previous week, and then I started doing that every week, and then very few people actually do them. You know, and this is one of the consequences of having a too open experience.
Yeah.
Is that I have a lot to offer you guys, a lot, but you just don't use what I have to offer because it's too open, you know? But if I say, okay, watch this course, watch these 15 videos before next month, and this is the first step, like including everything I can offer in the process, not just here's something extra for you not to do, you know? And that's bad for everyone, you know? I spend time for nothing, you guys don't get any results.
Well, Gus, I think what you were describing before made sense, that if you have a program that gives kind of rewards accomplishment and achievement, however you decide to award that, I mean, that's a motivation for keeping. It's kind of like the games that we're talking about.
Yes.
You know, what we're talking, you know, maybe is like gamifying some of the learning, you know, so that there's levels, achievement, the person feels like they keep going. And you know, what I learned from teaching a lot of courses online and working with learning management systems is that if you had fewer assignments and fewer quizzes, you lost students' attention more often. But if you had consistent, what we call assessment is anything that can be graded. Discussion board response, a quiz, an essay, an assignment. That's all assessment. But if you have more frequent assessment, it keeps the students more interested because every week they have to do something. Every week there's a quiz. And then they can see their own grades and their own progress. And you can use that to your advantage where you make the graph, you know, I'm sure the game developers are extremely good at doing this, but they make the achievement, you know, it looks good graphically. You know, I don't know if I'm explaining myself well, but the achievement part of it, I think, is extremely important to keep people engaged so that there's always another quiz. And then the next quiz leads to a slightly more challenging quiz.
Yeah.
And then it leads to, or exercises can be done that way, where you unlock a group of exercises because you've completed one tier or one level.
Makes a lot of sense. Yes.
Oh, I was thinking about that, like the people, you have many, small time, I mean, I don't know, a little time to like 6 months. So you have to do more challenge, more tasks, more thing that feels like you're getting somewhere.
You can see your own progress.
Yes, a sense of progress is very important.
Definitely.
Diego was talking to Diego. He suggested an app, and one of the features of this app could be like looking at your progress bar, like your percentage of how many words you've collected or how many topics you have finished.
Absolutely. Now, who develops the apps in your group? You know people in your group who are web developers and app developers?
Yeah, I do. You can hire them. And also, this is one of the benefits of doing those launches and opening groups with specific time, because we can do launches and the resources would come in a like.
Paula have a app.
Sorry.
Sorry. What are that? I did nothing.
Paula have an app.
Oh, you have an app, Paula?
Memorize.
I have an app.
Do you?
Memorize.
What?
Ah, okay.
It's
about memorize that I always recommend to people. memorize. You know that, memorize. These days I'm not using this very much, Kami. I'm using songs. I'm listening to songs, then I go to see the lyrics of the song. Then I'm learning a lot of expressions and words. It's very good when you get at the point that you can understand at least 90% or more than that of the word or the book. I'm doing this with a book of Bert Hellinger. And then you can pick the new words, and I'm listening to the song again. I learned some new expressions recently using that.
In English?
Yes.
What do you remember the expression?
The expressions? Do you wanna?
Do you remember the expression?
Yes, like dive right in. From Ed Sheeran, dive right in, and follow my lead. It's not a new expression for me, but I heard and I could, if I hear, I can understand. But it wasn't part of my vocabulary. I feel like that in this moment, I can understand a lot of things when I'm watching The Mentalist, for example. I don't know if you know this.
I've heard of it.
It's amazing. I can understand a lot, but I think if I had to use this word, I wouldn't remember, So I need to practice more, hear this word more and more and more until I feel this as part of my vocabulary,
Yes, you're getting the spirit.
I like.
You're getting the spirit. I want to actually encourage you guys to do the same. Like, be curious about language. Like, this is new, but it's not part of my repertoire yet, and I want it to be. I want to actually use it in a conversation. Very nice thinking. You can actually share that, Paula. Also about the group, I would like you guys to share more about what you do. Like, oh guys, take a look at this new song. I just learned these new expressions. If you could do that.
I'm doing this with a program named Hilda on Netflix.
What is it called?
It is Hilda.
Hilda. What's it about?
It is animation. It is a kid that she lives in the woods, and she makes a lot of friends. Like, I don't know how to say, people, big animals. I don't know. It's a great show. It's easy to know the words that she uses, but I learn others too.
Are you taking notes?
Yes.
Nice. You can share some of those with us. Test if you know them. You can test each other, guys. Like, hey, do you know this word? Do you know what's spry? Do you know what's tinker? And no, I don't. What is it?
Barefoot on the grass. Another expression. Barefoot on the grass. Barefoot. I didn't know.
Barefoot. Yeah.
Barefoot.
And then it's interesting when you learn those words. They are compound words, because now you can understand others instantaneously, like bare shirt, or what else? Barefoot, bare shirt, and then also bare anything, like with my bare hands, like this would be an expression, like I killed him with my bare hands. It means with my naked hand, like nothing between my hand and the thing I killed. So bare is lacking protection, basically, in general.
Gustavo, these days, Janie, sorry, I just this reminds me that Janie said, "This is not my cup of tea," and this reminded of you. But you should say, "This is not my cup of coffee." You should change the expression.
A cup of tea. Nice, guys. I'm proud of you learning new expressions. It's very nice. Let me show you the rest here. So what do you need to do to be one
I
of the 12?
don't know if
Sorry, go on.
no, I don't know if it is an expression, but I hear go to dash. I don't know if use I have, but I go to dash now.
To dash, to go away.
Yeah.
I'm gonna dash now. Okay, Jeff just dashed.
Vanished. He vanished.
Only for a second.
He just vanished.
Illustrating the expression.
The dash.
Uh,
Old-fashioned, I think.
Pardon me?
I think it's old-fashioned. I think not something the younger generations would probably use.
To dash?
Dash, yeah. I've got a dash.
I use some words in Portuguese that the new generation would not use.
Me too.
So
Exactly. That's why Gus and I were going to do Granny's English, because they were expressions that only, older people would use. That's why I use them.
And
Cami.
I guess that's why I never heard it about this. Probably.
Cami, the expression that you said, I heard so many times. John Doe. John Doe and John. I didn't learn how to say this for the female version, but I learned it John Doe. This is just a John Doe.
Oh, a John Doe. Oh, that's like a nameless person. Someone who's not. Yeah, female is Jane Doe.
Jane Doe, yes.
Jane Doe.
Jane Doe.
It's like law. That's like crime. Like crime investigation, and if they find a baby, that's baby Doe.
Yeah.
Yes, but it is true for someone that it's nobody. No, it's not like that. It's just a John Doe. Someone that nobody knows, nobody.
Unidentified. Somebody whose identity you don't know. Yeah.
Yes. This the Mentalist, the series. The Mentalist. It is a series about crime, so they use a lot. But the time that you talking about it, Cami, in the last infusion that we've been together, I started paying attention, So after that, I heard so many times he saying this. Just a John Doe. This John Doe is something very nice.
I watched this series too, The Mentalist. It's very good, but I don't know why, but I will finish. I will start to watch it again.
Mentalist, right? I'll try it out.
We just discovered who is Red John. It's finally.
It was the big mystery.
Yes, the big mystery. The name of the chapters, it is Red something, always, Red
Seriously?
something.
Wow.
Yes. Because of this guy.
Of the episodes?
Oh, it's the guy that murdered his family.
Don't.
Okay.
I don't know who he is. I stopped to watch the show.
Yes, but he killed her.
I don't know.
Wife and child.
This is not a spoiler.
Yes, the beginning of the series, there is this. So sorry, back to your explanation, Gustavo.
No, I love what you're doing. I want to see more of that, actually. Sometimes I tend to centralize and not let you guys speak. I'll try to do that less often. So I'll be selecting the 12 clubbers in each group, right? So I have to pass my test that shows you are at least you have at least an intermediate level. You have something to share with the community. This is why I always ask you what are the 3 things you consider yourself a specialist in the application process? So you can know, oh, this person is a specialist in astronomy. Oh, interesting. I want an astronomer in my group so they can bring something new and something that we don't know about yet. And be committed. I think committed has 2 T's, right, Jeff?
Yeah.
Okay. To take the time and effort to reach advanced English. I know English is spelled with a capital E, but I disagree with that, so I'm not using it. And yeah, did you guys know that, guys? That languages are spelled with a capital first letter, not only nationalities in English. So I'll analyze the applications and select the clubbers who will be joining each group. Now, for you guys, we're going to go through that process too, an application process. The price will be different than for the new people, will be different from the one that you guys pay, but you will pay the same price that you already do, okay? But you will, like, if you want to continue, sign a 6-month contract for that experience, you know?
Gustavo,
Yes.
about that, if I finish the 6 months and I want to continue being for more 6 months, for example, what different it would, I'm using me as an example, but I'm talking in general, you know, what it would happens of different, the person would say the same things, you know.
No. Actually, first,
I think it's important to create this, you know, it's intermediate and advanced, I don't know.
Yes. First, I was thinking of dividing the milestones between, like, within 1 year. For example, I want to give you gifts again. So in the beginning, you would get each a notebook, like a personalized Coffee Club notebook. I think Camila doesn't have it, Lo doesn't have it, only Paula. So we have a notebook by the Coffee Club, and it's a beautiful notebook. And you can get it when you join, you know. So it's the first thing that you get, is the first milestone. I'm in the Coffee Club now. And then maybe you get something after 3 months, but maybe the mug after 6 months, something that represents that you can now be an Infusion ambassador, you know, after 6 months.
But about the content?
If you renew, you get the responsibility of being an ambassador for Infusion, which puts you on the spot and makes you grow it even further. And the content will be different because the people will be different. Remember that the members will bring the topics.
Yes.
So we're gonna get in touch with other guests and other topics, and so on. But
about the app thing, for example, you said about the person being able to see how her who is evolving, you know. So when it ends the 6 months, probably it will be in the end, you know, like a bar, you know, it will be in the end. And if I want to be for more 6 months, I should have a possibility to, you know,
yes,
not to repeat everything in the app, for example, but to do something more hard or different kinds of tasks or challenge. Maybe it's just a suggestion.
Makes sense. Yes.
Something that there is just in this level. I understand that it's not your goal. It's not your goal. You want that the person learn everything that is necessary to be able to communicate, to be able to write in these 6 months. But if happens, the person wants to grow more, I don't know if it would be good to have the more of the same strategy or another thing. Maybe it makes sense to have more of the same strategy. I'm not saying that it's bad, you know.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah, one way to see it is by, okay, you're renewing it because you feel like you want to do it again, and that's your decision, but the experience will be mostly the same. Or
Okay.
you actually take that into consideration and build something else, like another tier, another level of the milestones or the challenges. But yes, just by repeating the experience, you will get further results. Paula, still there?
Hello.
Okay.
I'm hearing.
Okay,
I think it would be good to have a group of the veterans.
nice, good idea. Yes. I'm actually talking to Vanessa in some minutes. She'll help me design the experience even further. I'm hiring her for good, and she'll work with us on this. So
Nice.
here's some of the testimonials I've had, and I'm actually proud of the progress that you already feel in the current experience. Like, for example, Lucas, after 5 months of being in the Coffee Club, he said, I've learned more English in the last 5 months than the last 5 years. So that's really what makes me proud. And also, I asked him to go away. He said, Lucas, you're ready, go. And he said, no, I want to stay because of the community, you know. And this is something I like to, an experience I like to provide to you guys. Like, you come from something you need and you stay for something that you want, you know. Like, you stay for the community, for the other people. Oh, this is nice. So, oh, look at Lo.
No.
Love when you said that. Life is not made of pre-made questions. Life is surprise, and the Coffee Club promotes that. What can I say? Some other testimonials, guys. I created a mobile version of this website. It looks nice too on the phone. This part, look at that. So this part is focused on networking, you know? So by meeting these people for these talks and getting in the community, you can expand your connections and find business opportunities. Like Paula, you still have the clients, Paula, you got from the Coffee Club?
Yes.
So like you get an actual return on investment if you sell your service to those people. You know?
Yes.
What Paula did. So here's some examples of conversations you can watch. This is about me.
Wow, so sexy.
Really?
Very happy.
Teeth and mustache. I was trying to grow back my mustache, but it's too much work, so I cut it down. And then this final call to action: click below, join the waiting list. I have to review this, revise this. Join the waiting list and get the chance to become a Coffee Clubber. And I want to implement again the experience of being selected, of being chosen, of receiving an invitation, you know. And I kind of lost that throughout the way. Thanks a lot, guys. Sorry if I bored you with this. Thanks a lot for the ideas and.
Receive a letter like Hogwarts.
Sorry?
Receive a letter like when
yes,
you
yes.
go to Hogwarts.
Like Hogwarts. This is a great idea. Like you can get a notebook and inside the notebook a letter or maybe separate. My first idea when I created the Coffee Club was having those stamps, those wax stamps, you know. Have you ever seen them, like in those medieval films?
Yeah.
Like you use a candle.
Yes, like you burn a candle on the letter, and then you close the envelope.
Oh my god! I'm imagining you sending letters saying no for people.
I like this. I like this.
I'm sorry, you haven't been selected.
Sorry, not possible for you. Oh my god! Next year.
That would be nice, right? I think this is a bit harder to replicate because like have to do it in different cities, but I can definitely try or do something similar.
Yeah.
But a letter can easily be done. Sorry, Lo?
Good. Adopt.
Yes.
In this new model of coffee club, don't have more infusion one time per month?
Yes, there is. I'm not sure it's going to be once a month, but we're still going to promote infusion. I was
like
thinking
so much
like,
infusion. Don't take
Sorry?
it out on
I'm not going to take it away. Yes, we're going to keep it. Don't worry. I just didn't promise it in the website because I wanted it to be a surprise, something internal, like something that, wow, we can still meet in person. But I can. Do you think I should say that? Why am I thinking of not putting it in the website? Because we cannot meet everywhere. You know, only some places we can meet, and they are people in other cities. So I cannot promise that everyone will have an infusion if they cannot meet because of the pandemic. But then once you're in, I can say, yes, infusion. Yes, but I'll make it happen. You know what I thought? That would be crazy if we had one infusion at the end, and it was like in one city, and we all travel there.
That would be nice. That would be amazing.
It'd be more expensive, but I like a richer experience, I think. It's an idea.
The hosts would be invited as well.
Yeah, Jeff, you invited people to come to Brazil for infusion. You know, like by having one big event, we can prepare for longer, you know, and buy the ticket and anticipate how we're going, you know.
And each year would be in a different place.
Yes, that'd be nice. And I've been asked by José to create the Coffee Club Interchange program, I
like it very much.
Like it?
Yeah.
Like you prepare for 6 months and at the end you travel to another place.
I'm the first. You hit the first.
Okay, great.
After COVID.
Yes.
Coronavirus.
We can begin in 2022 or 23, you know. But what do you think of that, Paula and Camis and Jeff?
Paula.
I think it's nice. I like.
Your mic is off, Paula.
Sorry, the voice is important. Okay. So is the voice important? So the in the beginning it will be small, you know. So because of that, I don't think it would be a problem, big problem to you know, it could happen this year, for example, I hope, but a limited amount of people.
Yes, I'm talking about another product. It will be like the Coffee Club tour. Like we would after the 6 month preparation, we'd go to another country.
It would be amazing. Would be amazing. Yes. I would love it.
I love it.
Bet you like it. So yeah, I'm setting up a meeting with Lucas. He has been our guest twice. He's very good at organizing trips, and he has worked at an interchange, an exchange program company, so he has a lot of experience. So we can be partners in that product, you know. That would be nice.
Yes, it would be nice.
And we can visit Jeff. Look at that.
Come on. Come on by.
Thanks a lot, guys, for your ideas. I want to do my best for you guys. Okay, and thank you for helping. And yeah.
Don't cry.
So, Jeff.
Okay.
Sorry. What? Namaste.
Namaste.
Jeff, sorry for boring you with this talk, but thanks for being here. It's always great to see you. Hope to see you soon.
Yeah,
okay.
Let's talk soon.
By the way, Jeff, look at that.
Wow.
I don't have the microphone yet. It's coming tomorrow or the day after that. But I can already pretend. I can,
So
Yeah,
professional.
the mic is just, you know,
yeah, but the
detail.
microphone is almost here, and when it does, like, you can be professional podcasts.
Oh.
Let's do it.
Yeah. So let's this week or next week talks. Okay.
Okay.
Let's take a picture. 1,
Wait.
2,
Wait.
3. Ready?
Everybody's hair is fixed.
Perfect.
Thank
Bye,
you.
guys.
Take
See you
care.
later.